to build a listing website. So with this solution, you'll be able to run a classified ads website, a car directory, a travel directory, a marketplace of services, etc., etc. So what I'm going to show you today basically is a fully multi-purpose solution, and the best part, it's free. So we're going to use a free theme called Listing Hive, and it comes with over 15 free and premium extensions as well. And of course, I'm also going to show you how to make money from this website as well. Okay, so let's do it. Okay guys, so for this we're going to use hivepress.io again. As you can see, you can build marketplaces, directories and classifieds with WordPress. So let's have a look at the themes that they have. So we have Expert Hive, Task Hive and Rental Hive. So Expert Hive, Task Hive is to build a website like Freelancer or Fiverr, Fiverr.com. So I've covered that already in a past video. Have a look on my channel. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to have a look anyways. And Rental Hive as well, how to create a rental marketplace. Again, I've produced a video about this. I'll leave a link in the description below. But today we're going to address this one here, Listing Hive. So this one is totally free, 100% free. So if you click on this, as you can see, Listing Hive, a lightweight, clean and modern WordPress theme that allows you to build any type of directory. And this is very important, you know, any type of directory and listing website in next to no time. And I'm going to demonstrate that to you now. So to download it is very simple. Click on this. And as you can see, it's part of the WordPress repo. So all we have to do is just basically is to copy this, or you can download it all together. Click on download, save it somewhere on your hard drive, click save, and then yes. So there you go. So either way works absolutely fine, you know. So we can close this now. And now we're going to go to our WordPress dashboard. So let's close this. So there you go. Now, welcome to our WordPress dashboard. And as you can see, we start afresh with a fresh new installations. We have no plugins and we have only the 2021 theme installed at the moment. So let's have a quick look at what our website looks like. So as you can see, it's very basic. As I said, this is the default WordPress theme. Okay, so let's go ahead and install the theme now. So add new. And from here, we can either upload the theme by clicking this button here, or we can search for it. So if you type in Listing Hive right here in the search box, you will find it here. So it's showing up here. So it's probably the easiest solution of all. As you can see, if you hover on top, all we have to do now is to click install. Very good. And now click activate. So that's it. Now it's installed and activated. And as you can see here on top, we have a small message that says, this theme recommends the following plugin. So we need to install HivePress now. Okay. So let's click on begin installing plugin. And there it is. Okay. So let's click install. There you go. All done already. And now we need to activate it. So let's go back and let's click activate. Okay. Very good. And now we need to refresh our page here. So if we go to dashboard, just like this, as you can see, now we have an extra tab in our menu section called HivePress, with all the settings, etc., etc. So this is what we're going to use, all these settings here to configure and customize our website. So let's have a quick look at the front end now. If we refresh, as you can see, all the structure is already there. We have add listing, my account, sample and all that, but there is no content yet. So what we're going to do now is to import the demo content, and then I'm going to show you how you can change and tweak your website around to fit your own purposes. So for this, we go back to our WordPress dashboard. We're going to plugins, add new, and we're going to search for one click. It's called one click import. There you go. This is the one here, right there. And as you can see, over 1 million active installation. So extremely good. So let's click install. There you go. And now we need to activate it. That's it. So now we'll be able to import the demo content. And for this, we're going to go to appearance. And as you can see, we have an additional tab that says import demo data. Click on this. And we have a small warning here, a message on top that says, if you want to start the Listing Hive demo content, please follow this screencast here to import it. So we have to click on this first. And it's going to bring us to this section. And we have to download. You see here, this link, it says demo content file. Click on this. Save that onto your hard drive. Okay, and once you have this, we can then go back to this section here. So the file we just downloaded is an archive file, so you have to extract it first. Okay, so once you have it extracted, you can go into this section here, import content. And this is where you're going to select the XML file. So XML, as you can see here, okay? So let's click on select a file. And I've extracted the file already. So you'll have a subfolder like this one. Very good. And this is the file content.xml. You have to select this one, okay? So let's click open. And let's click on, let me hide myself here. So let's click on continue and import. There you go. So now it's doing its stuff, you know, it's going to do its magic. It's going to start importing all the content. So it's going to take a little while, as you can see. Please sit tight while we import your content. Do not refresh the page or hit the back button. So just be patient, let it do its thing, you know. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pause the video and I'll meet you guys again when it's completed. Okay, so there it is, import complete. So let's have a quick look at the website now. So let's refresh our homepage. And there you go, as you can see, everything has been imported. So if we click on home now, there you go. As you can see, we have hero section here, find everything you need, the search box, and then the top categories, recent listings, etc, and a footer section as well, you know. Okay, so now let me show you how we can customize our homepage, etc. Okay, so let's go back to our WordPress dashboard. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is to make sure that our homepage is assigned. And for this, we're going to settings, reading. And as you can see, we have static page. We tick this and then select the homepage as our homepage. So let's click save changes. And basically what this will do is if we click on this logo, it will always bring us back to the home page. So this is step number 1. And now we can take care of the nitty-gritty and build the main structure of our website. As you can see, we have 3 tabs here by the side. We have HivePress, we have listings and vendors. So what we need to do first is to create our listing, create all the different categories and attributes, and then we can add to our listings. And then we can set up our vendors and finally check out all the settings and make sure all the settings are fine for HivePress, generally speaking, globally on this website. Okay, so let's discover the listings section first. So let's open this, and here is where all your ads will be listed up. So we have the title, we have the vendor, we have the categories and the date and time when it was published. So these are all the ads basically. So before we can add a new advert, you have to create categories and attributes. So this is basically the main structure of your website. So depending on the type of project that you want to build, you will have to create categories and attributes first. Okay, so let me show you the categories first. So at the moment we have for sale, real estate and services. Now again, depending on the type of website that you're going to build, the type of directory or listing website, you might have different set of categories and type of subcategories as well. So let me show you just, let's say if you wanted to advertise everything that's got to do with electronics. So we're going to type here electronics. Okay, can you just add new? There you go. Now we have a new category. Now you might want to break this down in subcategories. So let's say maybe you would have laptops, and then you can select electronics as your parent category. So this is the main category and then subcategory. Okay, so let's add this. Now, as you can see, we have electronics as the main category, and then we have laptops, and then we could have mobile phones, and maybe let's say sound system. Okay, I'm just going to add 3 here just to show you how it works. So this is basically how you can create your categories and subcategories. So it's very easy and very intuitive, as you can see. Now let's go to this website here. And as you can see on our homepage, we have the top categories here. We have real estate, services, and for sale. So real estate, we have a picture here, another picture here, and so on. So if you go back here, if I open real estate, I click on this. As you can see, this is the picture here. As you can see, a bit of clothing, a cloth hanger and the plant, and this is the one here. Okay, so we can do the same with our own categories that we just created. So if we have electronics here, we could add a picture if we wanted to. So all we have to do is just click on it, select image, and then all we have to do is to select file. So you can either select a file, upload a new file, or select from your media library. So perhaps you already have a file uploaded that you want to select. Either way would work fine. So just for example here, we're going to upload our own file. So let's select, and I've created a picture here already. So I have that ready. So let's upload, and then all we have to do is click select image, and there you go. Now we have our image uploaded. So if you scroll down, as you can see, this is our picture. Now we can update. So let's go back to our home page and let's refresh. Very good. Now if you scroll down, as you can see, we have real estate electronics, and this is our picture. So this is how easy it is to actually change your categories and add pictures and images as a background. So as you can see, it looks very, very professional. Now let me mention something. So if we go back here, we go back to images. I'm going to select this. As you can see, that image is 1600 by 2133 pixels. So this is the default size that comes with this theme. So it's really up to you. You don't have to use that size, but make sure that all the pictures are the same size, basically the same ratio. So this is very important. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit wonky. You might have a big one and then a shorter one and then a longer one and so on. Okay. And then you're going to end up with a staggered layout, which is not going to look very professional. So make sure that all the images have the same size and same ratio. Okay. Very good. Now, something else I'd like to mention immediately is that, as you can see, we have 3 categories here. So real estate, electronics, and services. You can obviously display more than that. You can display 6 if you wanted to, or even 9, as many as you want. But I'll show you that later in this tutorial, how to do that when we edit the homepage. Okay. So now let's go back to our categories. So as you can see, electronics, and then underneath we have laptop, mobile phone, sound system, and you can do the same with all of these. Obviously, you can add a picture as well. Okay, so that's basically it now for everything that's related to categories. Okay, very good. So next we have the attributes. So what's the difference between attributes and categories? Okay, so to answer this, let me go to the front end here and show you. So these are our categories. Okay, so we have real estate. If I click on this, by the side here, we have a filter feature. We can filter things. We can narrow our searches and look for specific types of item and narrow down the searches. Okay, so as you can see, we have square footage, we have type, we have rent, etc., etc. And these are customizable. You can add as many as you want and customize them the way you want all together. Okay, so if you go back here, as you can see, we have rent, we have type, and we have square footage, which is the exact same as this filter section here. Okay, so how does that work? So let's go and have a look at type. Type, we have 3 different types. We have types with apartment, we have house, we have room. Okay, so if we click on type here, so from here you can configure everything related to the attribute type. So we have the editing section, we have the search section, and we have the display section for our front end. Okay, so from the editing section here, we can add the different options. So as you can see here, we have the type is apartment, house, and room. So where is this now? It's right here. You can see options. If you click on this, you can have all the different options related to that attribute specifically. Okay, so this is how it works. Now let's create a new one all together. So we're going to create a new one. So let's add new and let's give it a title. So let's continue with the idea that you're selling electronics. Okay, so let's say you want to know what's the condition of the item. So we have condition, and then we're going to select here allow front editing and field type. So we're going to give them a few different options. So this could be a checkbox. So a checkbox, basically you have different options. You can select multiple options, or you could have a radio button. So you can only select one of the options. So maybe here we're going to go with checkboxes. Okay. And you want this to be searchable, indexable, and sortable as well. Okay. So very simple so far. Now we need to add it to create an icon for it. So we set condition. So we could select something, maybe, let's say maybe a box or something like that, you know, but feel free to select any item you like. So I'm just going to go with the box for now, just to show you how it works. Okay. And then with the categories, in which categories do you want to show this and do you want this to apply to? So let's have select laptops as well, mobile phones and sound system, and let's publish. So you have to publish first and save it before we can add the options. And now we have the additional button here, edit options, and now we can add our options. So let's click on this. And from here we can add all the options. So let's say maybe new. We could have secondhand. We could have refurbished. And maybe as well for parts. Okay. let's say all together. So this would be about the usual when you're selling electronics. Okay, very good. So we have all our options now set up, and now we can go back to our attributes, and we need to set up one more thing in the front end. How do you want to display this? So let's say checkboxes as well. This would be absolutely fine. Okay, so let's update. And now if we go back to our front end, so let's go back to the home page, and let's go to the section real estate. Now in the section real estate, you have rent, type, square footage. So we don't have condition here. So let's go back to our home page, and let's select the electronic section now. And as you can see here, now we have our breakdown, our filter here immediately on the side with conditions. So we can select, for instance, secondhand and for parts, let's say, okay? And then if you were to click on filter, it would only display the ads that match those criteria. So as you can see, it's absolutely amazing and super easy to create and build a listing and a directory and narrow down those searches based on your own personal requirements. And this will be absolutely fantastic for your visitors, you know? Okay, so let's go back to our backend here. And again, I can't emphasize enough how practical and how well thought out this plugin is, because to be honest, as you can see, this feature here, this attribute is only visible in this category electronics like we just demonstrated here. It will not show up in for sale or real estate or services, which means that you can create different set of filters, different sets of attributes based on all the different sections and different categories that you have on your website. So again, guys, this is absolutely amazing on its own, isn't it? Okay, so next, let's go to our listing now. So this is basically where all your ads will be listed up all together, and you can create some yourself. So you can add a new one. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like. It's pretty straightforward, this section, you know. Now let's just edit one of them. So we're all going to open this one. So what do we have? Well, we have the title, we have the description here, and by the side, as always, we have the usual. You can select your category, you can select the type, and you can have your featured image. So on the top here, as you can see, if you go back on categories, you don't always have to go into categories here and create it. If you wanted to, you can add a category straight from here. So how does that work? Very simply. So let's add one into electronics. So let's say we had laptops, mobile phones, and sound system. So let's add a new one. So let's say tablets, okay? And we're going to put this underneath electronics, and we can add. And just like this, as you can see, we now have tablets as part of the electronics section. Very simple, isn't it? And it's the same with type. So if you wanted to add a new type, you can add it immediately from here. Now, bear in mind that from here, you won't be able to add those additional features and options. You still have to create from here. But regardless, you can have a quick shortcut and do it straight from here. Okay, then after this, what do we have? Well, basically, we have all the different settings here. So you have the vendor. So who is selling this item? So as you can see, we have Brian Peterson here. So I'm going to show you in a minute how to create vendors as well and create new attributes for them as well. So very, very important again, obviously, because this is a directory. It's like a marketplace, basically, you know, where anyone can log in and create a new listing, and you can monetize that as well, of course. So you can mark the listing as verified. So you could charge money for this as well. And you can mark it as featured, you know. And if it's featured, you can set dates as well. So from, to, and this is really up to you. Again, this is just an option. Now we have the main picture here. So this is the featured image. But you also can add additional images, so like a gallery. So if you wanted to add more images, all you have to do is select images and add them to the listing, okay? And then we have the attributes here. So each and every product can have different sets of attributes. So this is basically in the section room, which is in the real estate section. So these attributes are matching this type of listing. So you can add the price, the rent, obviously, you know, and the square footage as well. So again, those attributes will be based on the type of categories, okay? So let me show you again, let me demonstrate this. So if we were to change this from real estate to electronic, and let's say laptop, let's update. Now, if I scroll down the page, as you can see, those attributes are not there anymore because they are not matching the type of category. So again, this is a very intelligent script, a very intelligent plugin, you know, because based on the type of categories that you have, you will have the attributes matching this type of category, which will help you with displaying the listing and also for the search features. Okay, so very, very well thought out again. So let me change this back to real estate and update. And again, as you can see, now we have those attributes. Okay, so this is basically how it works. This is how you can create your listings and create all these different ads and publish them on your website. Okay, so now vendors, another important part of the website. So who are vendors? Well, basically these are your website users. So those who will go on your visitors, basically, who will upload ads on your website. So this could be subscribers, this could be resellers, could be anything. Basically, they had to coin a name, put a name, obviously vendors, because this is such a multi-purpose solution that you could be using it for any type of industry, obviously. No, so these are your vendors. So how does this work now? We have the vendors and we have the attributes. So as you can clearly see, we have one vendor here. But before we go into this, let me show you the attributes again. So let's set this up first. Okay, so let's go back to our example of real estate. So we have the real estate section here. So obviously anyone who's going to upload ads and listing in the real estate section could either be, let's say, a broker, an agent, or maybe a realtor. Okay, so we could break this down in different sections because when you're looking for property, you might be looking maybe for the owner themselves selling it. You could be looking for an agent, might be looking for maybe a broker, whichever way, you know. So this is where we can create different attributes. And again, the purpose of creating attributes is to help your visitors narrow down their searches and find exactly what they want. Okay, so let's create a new one here and let's call this license type. Okay, so this one will be editable from the front end. And let's say maybe radio button this time. Display, index, sortable, radio button again. And we're going to select an icon. So let's select maybe house or building. There you go. Let's select this one here, for instance. Okay. And now we can save this, publish. And now we can add our different options. Remember, we did that the same way with the listings. So let's add new. So let's add, for instance, we would have the developer, we would have an agent, and we would have a broker. Okay, so this would be normally all the different types. And let's add realtor as well, just in case. Okay, so very good. So we have everything here. Okay, now if we go back to attributes, as you can see, we have our license type and that has been created. So now if we go to our vendor here, we have Brian Peterson. We can edit his profile now. And as you can see by the side here, we have the license type. So which type of license has Brian Peterson? So let's say Brian Peterson, he's an agent, let's say. Okay, let's click update. Very good. So now if we go into the front end now again, as you can see, we have a real estate section here. If we click on this, and then we can select any of those listings. And as you can see, this is Brian Peterson himself and he's an agent. Okay. And if you click on his profile, we can see his whole page. So all the listings that Brian has uploaded. And as you can see, he's an agent. Now I'm going to show you how to create a vendors page all together. We can list all the vendors and you can narrow down your searches based on types. So whether they're broker, agent, realtor, or developer. Okay. So let's go back here now. So we're going to go into pages. We're going to add a new page. And let's call this one vendors. Okay, and then simply click publish again, and that's it. So that's done. Now we have that page done, and now we're going to go into HivePress settings, and we're going to go into the vendors tab here, and now we're going to assign that page. And as you can see, you can select vendors. That's the one we just created. Click save changes. Very good. So now if we go back into pages and hover on top of this one, let's right click on it and open in a new tab. And this is our vendors page. There you go. So we only have one vendor, as you can see here. If you go back into vendors, we only have Brian Peterson. So he's the only one showing up here. But if you had 20 or 40 of them, they would all show up. Now we can narrow down the searches based on the license type. So let's say if I want to look for, let's say, a broker, filter,